If the jury does find Bayeko guilty, he is facing 5 to 99 years.
Got it.
Tap on that lower picture. Oh, wait a minute.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm saying hi.
Can you hear us?
Yes,
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
I can hear
We
you.
can't hear you.
Can you hear
What's
me?
wrong?
Oh, yeah, turn on the TV.
Volume.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Is it? Come on.
Mhm,
Turn it
speak
on,
up.
it turns off the TV.
Yeah,
Bluetooth, or not. Is it? None of the above.
Oh, they're both on mute. I think.
on.
Can you hear us?
Yes,
Anyone? Oh, you're both muted. Hold on. You can hear us?
yes.
But we
Can
can't
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
I
Yes,
see
we
your
can hear
lips
you.
moving, but
Okay,
well, as long as you can hear
Yes.
us.
we can hear you. I can hear
Let's try to
you.
fix that.
Just.
You can't hear them, but they hear us.
Oops, I can't see you.
Can you still hear us?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yes. Maybe everybody's muted. Hold on a sec here.
There, we unmuted ourselves. Can you hear me?
You're watching. Someday Rabbi Rikki will be sitting there. Hang tough. We can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Can you
We're
hear
getting
me?
tech support on it right now.
Oh. That's mute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
We're not
Can-
saying anything.
We're still having audio problems over here. We can't hear any of you. Kevin, can you try to unmute yourself and see if we can hear you? Because you're showing up as muted right now.
Yeah, how's that sound?
Is that better?
You're unmuted, but still not hearing you. All right, we're working on it.
All right.
Okay.
Looks like someone's got Parkinson's.
We're not muted, so be careful there.
there any other place to? No, there's no other.
What's the matter?
I'm trying to see if there's any other.
Rabbi. Looks like just the rabbi and Yoshi. That's Yoshi. Can you hear us now? Evidently not.
We're muted.
Uh-uh.
Yellow. What's that sound?
We are unable to hear you.
We're unable to hear you. They have no sound either. Hmm. What sign language I can't hear?
What did Joe want?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
We can hear you. I don't know if Rabbi can though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. We can
Okay.
hear
All right.
That's what counts.
you.
We can now hear you officially.
What counts is if we can hear Rabbi Rikki.
Yes, you were good now. Now we can hear you.
Good.
We are
Right.
so worried. Okay, good. Cool. Okay. Well, we're gonna start here in just a second. So hang tight.
Yeah.
Tony, how you doing?
Very good. Where is it? At the center? Or is it?
We're excited. I don't know if you can see this, but now we can all see all of you. We have a TV set up.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
that was
I like
that
that.
was that was the problem. So
That's
we should be good now. Yeah.
Good.
Good thing I comb my hair.
Sort of.
Okay.
Kirsta solved the problem. for
No, I
us.
did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I
Okay,
did not. We
good
did
enough.
it together. It's all teamwork. I never take credit, no.
Anyway, we're waiting for that. And see what you guys are missing while we're waiting. I'll show you.
Yeah, I know.
We've got, I don't know if you can see that, cheese and brie and wine and
Yeah. All right.
all kinds of things to set the mood for intimacy. Oh, wait, there it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, for an intimate conversation about Jewish
Ooh,
intimacy.
yeah.
I think so. Yes. There we go.
You're in the chat.
Oh, good. All right, cool.
I wonder if they want us to.
Awesome. There's no table in. Are you sticking around?
And how-
I saw it, yeah. I saw that.
Is it time?
Everybody is, this is intimacy. Everyone is close. Over there.
Participated to support her. I really enjoyed her class. Yes.
The fact that it's in person.
There's Debbie.
You want to see if you can get louder?
I do love
Um,
it.
you
I
can
would
make
have
it
plugged this
loud.
in.
Hello, Judy.
Hmm?
Hi,
Well,
Judy.
if you can't hear it, I
This
can.
dance is to
What
sleep.
the-
Zoom.
It's funny.
I don't know if that worked. It's been.
I don't either. I just don't want
We've been on from since the beginning. No, I've been on from the beginning of
to.
Can't. Eyesight is so poor.
Turn on the lights.
It's like, I'm out.
Maybe. Maybe my next month and over.
Nobody's coming in.
Like, hold it.
You're right up there.
It'll be loud. It might be on the bottom. That's not a.
Yeah. No, that muted everything. Can't hear
Did it?
anything now.
Okay, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know what you did here. I see. Have a glass of wine. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be. Oh, here I am. Hi. This is becoming too fancy for me. Here is Rivka and Thelma and Carly and Brian. So what are you looking at?
You can sit it here, because then we can still see you,
Oh.
you know, and you can see everybody, but they can't see us. If we do it that way.
Okay, this I can do. Okay.
But then they can't see us.
And
You sit on this side of the table.
Why don't you put it over there?
Like put your chair over here and then.
oh, so I'll with my phone.
Well, it's not gonna be fun. You came on.
He said, I have one martini and then it comes,
Okay.
martinis and I'm glad. I have 3 martinis and under the table.
Can we hear you? How's the audio?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good.
Yes.
Let's study a little bit of Torah. Now, many people think that when you say let's study Torah, it is automatically
Hold it.
means we are going to read from the Torah, from the 5 books of Moses. So the truth is, the word Torah, it's interesting to know that it's not just the 5 books of Moses, but the word Torah means instruction. That's why the word Mora, which means teacher, Mora, Torah, and also Hore and Hora, correct. Everybody taking, excuse me, if you walked into this room, you have to stay for learning. So sit down, please, sir. Everybody's looking at you.
All right, let's take it. Are you plots on the floor?
Okay.
And just here.
So learning Torah, as I said, does not mean just reading the Bible. Torah is a big word, which means instruction. In the 5 books of Moses, we understand it as books of instructions of how to live. From this word Torah comes the word Mora. Did you hear the word Mora? Like Mora Rikki, Mora Eileen. What the word Mora means? Thank you, Mr. Rabbi Jelnos. He knew the answer. Everybody now knows that Rabbi Jelnos is here and he gave a good answer.
Why you ask everybody to turn their video on so we can see everybody instead of just the names? If they want to.
Because I have more class than you, sir, and I don't ask people to turn on their videos. Maybe they're listening and they're eating and they don't want you to see them eating, so no. You can stay without turning on the video. Oh my. Guys, this is precious time. So when we go up to heaven, there are 6 questions that we're going to be asked on the day of judgment. Today, last time I talked to you, I told you that one of the question is, have you made a time in your schedule to learn Torah? And the answer is yes, because all of you who are here today, you made time out of your busy schedule to study a little bit of Torah. It's crazy of all the things that we can be asked on the day that we go up there to heaven. This one made it into the 6 most important questions. Why? Because the most important thing about Judaism is always, always, always learn Torah, learn something new. If you go and say, I've learned enough, I read the Torah once, I think I can rest now. That is not living a Jewish life, constantly always learning. So there is a blessing that we say before we learn Torah. I'm going to say it on behalf of all of you. You can say amen. This way we make sure that the accounting department in heaven make sure to give us the credit, because anything and everything that you say the prayer for or the blessing for, that immediately goes into the general ledger. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm talking a lot of accounting, but oh yes, all of you over here, we have wine, beer, brie, is that what you call this? Cheese, crackers, brie, muffin, all kind of good stuff. So if you want to convince yourself to come over here and have snack, then please do. The blessing is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. We're praising you, God, who sanctified us with this commandment of immersing ourselves in words of Torah. And now that we have said this blessing, the credit is being given. And I want to tell you that last week, we had a very sexy session, if I should say it myself. We spoke about intimacy and love, what's encouraged, what's allowed, and what's not allowed. I don't think that Rabbi was here, so I have to pick on him today and tell him that according to the Talmud, if you feel so inclined to be affectionate to your wife and she happened to be sleeping, you are not allowed to wake her up. However, if she's so inclined to be affectionate and you happen to be sleeping, she's allowed to wake you up. I kind of like it because it's usually that women have less rights than men.
We don't work for that. That's why I do with that cat, whenever she wants to do that. I never call her when she's sleeping.
Good for you. Good for you. Robbie says he does not wake her up. Okay. So these are the kind of things that we talked about last week, that really the woman has certain rights and certain respect. But we're going to soon talk about the areas in Judaism where women are more restricted. I'll get to it in a second. So what we learned is that although in some other religions, intimacy or sex, I have to say sex, even though it's a terrible word in Texas, or intercourse is considered something that came out of the original sin, not so in Judaism. Actually, in Judaism, it is considered something holy. That's why it is a mitzvah to do it on Shabbat between a married couple, I should say. And this is according to the halakha and according to the law. So it is considered as long as it, well, what did you say? Okay, good question. This is the only day of the year that Judaism doesn't care if you're married or not, no sex is allowed. And this is on Yom Kippur. So I'm sorry. How are you talking? He said that you walk him out on Yom Kippur, so please. Can they see our people? No. You cannot participate. So Yom Kippur is considered a day that we have to fast and not give ourselves any kind of physical pleasure, no food, no drink, and no intimacy. It is supposed to be a day of complete, we fast, we pray, and we ask for forgiveness, and correct, intimacy is not allowed. Any question about that?
I have a question.
You are allowed to ask a question.
Okay, what about after a funeral?
I would say go for it.
Dini, I'm shocked.
Anything we should know? You want to share something?
Just a question.
Okay, so if you did it, there was nothing wrong.
You have to do it.
Oh, if you, I mean, no, you're not allowed to do it with a dead person. Is that what you asked?
Rikki, you have to do it on one of those little benches.
No, but if you're in mourning, you're not supposed to, like for your funeral, I didn't think you were supposed to.
It's a very good point that Eileen is bringing. It's like when you are in mourning, you're not supposed to have a lot of fun. Yet, intercourse was not mentioned as something you're not do. So, obviously, mentally and emotionally, you're not up to it. But, what? Sorry, it must be Chabad. They say in mourning you can't do it. Really?
You can't, doesn't matter if you're mourning.
Did you
That's correct. Yes.
in Chabad?
No, on Shabbat.
On Shabbat,
Doesn't matter if you're mourning or what, it's okay.
it's okay. It's encouraged. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that Rabbi missed the last the session because we spoke about how often it should happen, and it says that if a man is in a wealthy man should do it every single day, because that was their encouragement to have more children for the Jewish people. So you missed that. So
Plumbers 5 times a week.
sorry.
Plumbers 5 times a week.
No, they didn't speak about plumbers. So let's move on. What we want to make sure that we walk away with is the knowledge that intimacy is considered something that is holy. And people were asking me, can you speak about what's allowed, what's not allowed in certain positions? And I want to tell you one thing. Behind the curtain of a couple, it is called the Holy of Holies, and as long as nothing is being pushed on or forced on, and it is with respect, then it is the business of the couple. Talk about respect. There's 2 things that I want to mention here that we didn't talk about last time. In the Talmud, it says, today I don't have the Mishnah to read to you, but it says, number 1, do not bring levity into the bedroom. What does it mean? You can't be happy and laugh? No, of course not. But don't make fun. Don't try to be a clown. Treat this time of intimacy with respect. So that's all I can tell you. It was something that I read and I said, like, how nice that it is being treated with sort of holiness, and don't bring levity. Don't disregard the holiness of this bonding together. The other thing that the Talmud says, believe it or not, they say that it is very difficult to have someone attracted to you, not just emotionally and intelligently, but physically. But we don't always look 100%. We don't always look perfect. And they say try to refrain from doing it in a complete broad light or daylight. And the commentary said, why? Well, why? It's because they do not want the men to find something imperfect about the woman and to therefore be unattracted to her, and maybe, God forbid, it's going to bring it down, and vice versa. So I found a little bit of beauty in it because, as I said last time, Judaism is treating people getting together as one of the hardest job of God, to bring soulmates together. And once people are already together and they love each other, the Talmud comes to help them to keep this flame going and to make sure that, because none of us is perfect, we all have scars. I'm not talking about emotional and mental and scars in our soul, but we also have scars on our body all, and we get old, and it's not always perfect. So the Talmud is putting together those laws to kind of keep us together and to keep the passion going. Does that make sense? And now I want to questions. Dini, I only see half your face, and it's really distracting to me.
Oh,
Now I see you.
you only see half of the couple too, because my husband is right next to me.
He's an observer.
Oh, you like to just watch the class instead of be in it? We want to see him. Okay, but this is fine. As long as any questions, comments about this? There's a lot of beauty in the Gemara, and some of the things that it says, it does make sense. So I always feel a lot prettier when I sit with, in the light under the dimmer. It's just like a lot. This is like stage light.
I have a comment.
Yes. The Talmud.
One of the best known American TV commentators on sex, Dr. Ruth. She was Jewish. She was Ruth Westheimer.
I know her.
Yeah.
Very well. I went to many of Dr. Ruth. And the funny thing is that she said to her husband, I've seen her in many places. She said, if you want to come, you're not allowed to participate. Don't raise your hand, nothing. And he said, oh, you want me to tell them that you never wake me up? I mean, it's like, so yeah, I know her. What are the restrictions then? I mean, we are looking at it with so much beauty, so much holiness. What are the restrictions? So here I'm going to talk to you about restrictions that really, obviously for a married couple, that during the time that the woman is during her monthly menstrual period, she's not allowed to have intimacy with her husband. Now, different denominations of Judaism take this to a different extreme, okay? So it says no intimacy, no intercourse during the time that the woman is in her monthly period. But it goes beyond that, and it says that the woman is not pure during that time. She's not pure, and therefore she should not, okay, so now I'm talking about Orthodox Jews. She should not touch the Torah. This is one of the main conflict between the Orthodox Jews to the liberal Jews, which liberal Jews include the Reform and the Conservative. Liberal Jews believe that we are egalitarian, and the same rights we give men, we also give women. So in Conservative and Reform Judaism, we have women who are rabbis, we have women who are cantor, we have women who are gabbis. And if we believe that during that time the woman is completely impure to touch the Torah, we couldn't have had the rabbi work in a synagogue if the rabbi is female. She couldn't say, whoops, sorry, monthly period, I'm going to be gone for a week. It doesn't work. So, yeah, what excuse to get out of work, right? So this is also really the difficulties between the denominations of just so you know, growing up as a teenager, I always like to bring a little bit of my Orthodox background so you understand that I lived that way. I don't anymore. But let's say if we wanted to go to Jerusalem, I was, let's say, 18, and my mom would say to me, it's another word in Hebrew, but it's like, are you clean? Meaning you're not during your monthly period, because if you are, you cannot go to the Western Wall and touch the wall. That is taking it to a different level. To touch the Western Wall, all of the Orthodox girls will not go during the time that they are not clean.
They didn't want women over there anyway.
Sorry?
Clean or not clean.
Yeah, well, there is a section of the wall that women can go. You need to know that there are big, giant difference between liberal Judaism and Orthodox Judaism, Hasid Judaism, Chabad Judaism. All of them believe that a woman cannot be a rabbi because how can she ever touch the Torah during that time? Liberal Judaism say, this is something that is biological, it's something in my body. I mean, how can I not be pure during this time? I can do all of my function as a rabbi or as a gabbai or as a cantor. I can counsel people, I can be compassionate to people. I don't have to, it doesn't change who I am. Long time ago, during biblical times, I mean, the women wouldn't even sleep in the same house or the same tent with their husband during that week. They will be in a separate tent. Some of you who read the Red Tent, did you read the Red Tent? Yeah. So it was a tent where a lot of the women during that time would go to sleep over together with the girlfriends who happened to have gotten the monthly period at the same time, and they really developed camaraderie between the women. This was always the group that knew, let's say, if Eileen did not come on a certain month, they knew, okay, she must be pregnant because she didn't come to the Red Tent. They knew it was a community. And the women used to share their hard times with the other women or the good times, to ask for advice. It was a group of women that organically grew. These days in modern time, the whole notion of Rosh Chodesh, the celebration of the beginning of the Hebrew month, got resurrected, where women want to get together once a month and share and be together for the evening. And it really came from that ancient way of living. What's the problem with that custom? There are some problems, because I know for a fact that there are sometimes women who they ovulate extremely close to the time that they have a menstrual period, and they're not allowed to be with their husband during that time, and they keep on trying to get pregnant, and somehow, I don't know, they don't get pregnant, and they have to go and ask for special permission and so forth and so on, because they wait for a long time to get pregnant. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Yeah. Okay, so that does bring some difficulties to women who want to work in the Jewish world, especially in Orthodox Judaism. They can't. And that's a restriction. Comment, question? Okay. So what are the law? The law is really not to have intimacy, but as I told you several times in past classes, sometimes the Jewish people they took it for another level that is harder. They say during that time, the woman is not pure. I'm going like this because the word pure, obviously I'm a liberal Jew. It always bothers me, but that's the word. I'm translating it from Hebrew. The husband will not even, if they will sit together and have lunch or dinner, and the wife would pass the salt, the husband will want the salt to be put on the table before he touches the salt. Why? Why? Because maybe by mistake, by reaching out for the salt, he would touch the hand of the woman. And by touching the hand of the woman, it might arouse him and he's going to be so attracted, and God forbid, they're going to have intimacy, and boom, they break the law. Does that make sense? Everything I'm telling you is the truth. I might give it a little bit drama, but these were the times when I saw the salt being passed and I was asked to move it. I said, no, you want the salt, you take it. I'm not doing it. That started my rebellious year. So, but this is taking it to extreme. The idea is, but there is a beauty in it. I have to talk about the beauty. What's the beauty? That a lot of the women who do follow these laws talk about. They say, number one, it is the most wonderful, respectful way to treat a woman. It is a way to have the woman have a little bit of vacation from her wifely duties and not be touched and not be bothered. And then after the days are over, there are 7 days of actual monthly period, and then they count another 5 days that are 5 clean days, and after the 5 days, they go to the mikveh. Do you know what mikveh is? Raise your hand if you know what mikveh is. Yes? Okay, good. So mikveh is, how would you explain it? A ritual bath. The water in the bath must be water that are gathered from the rain. And you go in there. By the way, anybody here who's going to convert to Judaism, before you convert, you have to go to this ritual bath, and you go into this bath. There is a woman who is going to be checking the woman who finished her impure days.
Impure days.
Impure, thank you. Impure days, and she will check to make sure that there is not a loose piece of hair on the back. Why? Because it says the water and the body of the woman must touch each other. In other words, the water of the ritual bath must touch all of you. So if you have, Leah, if you have nail polish, you're going to have to remove your nail polish. If you have acrylic nails, you have to take them off, because nothing foreign can be on you. No earrings, nothing. Okay?
What happens if you have a tattoo?
Tattoo is tattoo. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so but anything that you can remove, you remove. Contact lenses, earrings.
So
What did you say?
that's about that too. It's a burying on the street.
No.
But there's a rabbi out of Minnesota who's a specialist in mikvahs,
In what?
in building mikvahs.
Okay.
And I trained under this rabbi because I built
Can you hear Robbie?
many mikvahs.
Oh, he's talking about his mikveh experience.
Right. And so the mikvah itself, over the years, used to be just a tent with a little pipe and rainwater would go in. Rainwater. But in this day and age, they're so fancy that if you have fake fingernails on or polish or whatever, everything's there for you to remove it.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful.
Oh,
bathroom
yeah.
for men, beautiful bathroom for women.
We have evolved.
Yeah.
Robbie is talking about long ago, it used to be like a tent, with a pipe for rainwater, and then you would have a bathtub there, and that would be your mikveh. But today, thank you, Robbie, if you go to a mikveh, anything and everything is right there, removing of your nail polish. You can have massage afterward. It is beautifully, decorated, and the architecture is beautiful, and it's tile, and it's gorgeous for men and for women. Separate.
There's another important detail.
Louder.
The important detail is when the rainwater comes, it cannot pass through an elbow, which means like a 90-degree turn.
It has to be direct. It has to be straight.
It can be straight or at an angle.
Right.
It cannot pass through a 90-degree. Why?
Well, I don't know, but I can guess, unless you have the answer.
I don't have the answer.
Okay, so Rabbi is saying that the water from the rain must have a direct contact with the ritual bath, and not only that, it has to go directly, or if it's not directly all the way straight, it has to go and maybe in a little bit of angle, but it cannot be elbow. Why? Why? Because when it's an elbow, many times you have calcification or dirt or anything that impurity. It needs to be pure water from God. So it's like it needs to not go through an area in the elbow that probably has dirt collected there. Okay, and we go in there, and the woman there is like looking around to make sure that there is nothing extra on your body, like loose hair or whatever. And then you go in and you say the blessing, and when you come out, you are now pure to sleep with your husband. And I know, of people that do not want to touch anything before they touch their husband. It's very, very beautiful. I know a family member, I would say, that I picked her up from the mikveh to take her, back home. And I stopped on the way to pick up a few things from the supermarket. And when she got in with me, I said to her, can you bring just a few apples? She said, not touching anything before I touch my husband. She wanted to bring this holiness and purity to him, so she wouldn't touch anything. You can take any custom and make it more and more difficult, which is wonderful, as long as it carries some emotions and some meaning for you. I think it's beautiful. And I know from many religious women who say it really keeps up the romance. It's sort of a discipline. It's not free for all, any day, no. There's certain times that we're not allowed to be touched. Now, before I forget my train of thought for a second, but why is it so unallowed? Because the blood, listen to this. This is something that actually makes sense in some way. The blood that comes out of a woman's body represents death. Death of what? It is the death of the egg that didn't conceive. In other words, the egg is there, but it was kind of wasted. So it's like a sad thing, it's death. And we in Judaism, for us, intimacy is considered life and holiness. And we don't want to take death and life and mix them together. So when I heard that, especially, I guess, during the years that I was young enough to get pregnant, it kind of made sense that we don't mix life and death. That was, I always look for explanation that makes sense. And now is your turn.
Just question. So for Rotary and Abad, they have a big fund. They use it for a number of women every month, and then all the converts. What did they do this summer when we had the drought?
What do they do when we have the drought?
They didn't have enough rainwater.
Okay, so very good question. As Steve is asking me a question, he always likes to ask me like tricky questions, hoping that I will say, I don't know, but I do know. So here it is. The question is very good. it doesn't have to be all rainwater. It has to be a certain percentage of rainwater. And now Steve is going to ask me, what's the percentage? And if he does, I'm going to tell him you got me because I forgot. I'm not sure. So-
according to Rabbi Grossman, the mikveh expert of the world, you'd have to have 40% of the water
40%.
is rainwater.
Thank you,
60%
Robbie.
is regular water, but all the water is treated. So in this day and age, it still goes through filtration, gets chlorinated, and it's safe. Bacteria is being killed.
Thank you. Okay, so Robbie is helping me out and he knows the answer because I forgot. It's at least 40% of it must be rainwater. So woman needs to go when she becomes clean from this, it's usually, it's like, I don't know, it depends if the woman monthly period lasts 5 days and she has to count another 5 days. This is the 10 days that she's not allowed to have intercourse. And then after that 10 days, the next 20, God bless you, so this is it. For men, it is encouraged to go before Shabbat on Friday. Okay, to welcome the Shabbat. I lived in a city that they only do it on Friday, but the rest of the week they didn't take a shower. I'm sorry. Thank you. We're gonna miss you, Debbie. Bye. So, keep me on my toes. What time is it? Oh, 5 minutes to 7. Oh, so I'm going to, and I said that we're going to talk about divorce. And I didn't have a chance. So divorce is going to have to wait next time. Divorce is pretty complicated in Judaism. And again, this is a place where, the women got the short end of the stick and they don't have as much rights. So I'm going to. You're not allowed to participate. Sorry, Yoshi, you're not allowed to participate. But we're going to talk about divorce next time, okay? Because I have very little time left, and I would like to ask you to forgive me for talking about something that has nothing to do with the bedroom, okay? It's something that has to do with the heart. This weekend, it is Rosh. Rosh means, come on, Ashley. Rosh means what? Head. Thank you, Ashley. Rivka, I asked Ashley and you answered.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll turn it off.
No, it's okay. So Ashley had, Rosh is head. Chodesh means month. Rosh Chodesh, the head of the month. Every last day of the month, or the first day of the month, rather, the first day of the month, first couple of days are dedicated to honor women. So these days, Ashley, you're going to tell Rob, honey, you are washing the dishes. You are taking out the trash. You are doing all these things because these are the 2 days that from the Jewish eyes, we have women to work a little bit less. It's the holiday of the women, okay? But this particular Rosh Chodesh, this particular month that we're starting, it is a very serious month, okay? It is called the month of Elul. Elul, Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed. And it also stands for Ani ledodi vedodi li. It is like I am for my beloved and my beloved is for me. This is a very special month. And during this month, we have some important customs. Every day, for the whole month, we blow the shofar. Every day. And what it is, when we blow the shofar, we want to wake people up, say, this is the last time that you can change your ways before Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur are coming before the high holidays. This is the month, it's the last month of the Jewish year. This is the last month that you can pick up the phone and say sorry to somebody that you hurt their feeling, or ask forgiveness from your family or friends or children or spouse. This is the month that we call it the month of forgiveness. So you have to start now, because you need to remember Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, God is not going to forgive you for what you have done against other people. He's going to forgive you for what you have done against God. People have to forgive people. And I want to ask you officially, if I have hurt your feelings, if I insulted you, if I was rude to you, if I promised to do something and I did not, and if I did not keep my word, I hereby ask for your forgiveness. If you, and I'm talking about if I've done it intentionally or unintentionally, if you have upset me, if you were rude to me, if you did anything against me, you don't have to apologize to me, because you are hereby being forgiven already. Yes? This is the Jewish custom for this last month of the 12 months of the year. God bless all of you. I'll see you soon again. And don't forget to tell me you like it, you didn't like it, complain, a compliment. You know how to reach me. I'll see you soon.
See, the women always go, look, we gave them a halfway. We can't go to Rosh Hashanah, look, it's just.
Oh, so Rabbi is complaining. He's saying the women got the Rosh Chodesh, and we are not allowed to come to Rosh Chodesh celebration. So I will tell you one thing.
We gave them all, remember, we had to show up.
Half, yeah. I did hear one Rosh Chodesh. I was new here. What do I know? And I said, why not invite the men too? I like men and women together. I lived so much of my life with just women, and just like looking through the curtain to see some men in the synagogue, and people were saying, what are you doing? Close the curtain. I said, why? I want to see the guys. No, it wasn't allowed. So I came here to San Antonio and I said, Rosh Chodesh, I'm going to invite them in. I raised mir. That means all God knew. People complain, says, who is this Rikki? She comes here, she's brand new, she comes to Texas and she's inviting men to the Rosh Chodesh. So I stopped. I didn't do it anymore. But I think I'm gonna, huh? You came, Robin? Yeah, but you know, I know, okay. So, but women were upset with me because they said, men get so much. We have a Rosh Chodesh, why can't we just keep it to ourselves? Okay. So
most women like to have a certain period where men aren't around.
that's true, yeah. Yeah. I mean, women sometimes like to be without men and just be among women. But if men were listening to what women were talking about, all the men would blush. Any questions? Anybody want to ask anything? If not, we're going to say yes. Somebody wants to ask something? If not, I'm going to see you again next week. Bye-bye.
We're not on Howie's 75 million.